Hey guys, just here taking some time this morning to paint my orcs. I honestly am gonna probably do a terrible job, but that's okay because I'm still learning to paint. So I also have a semi-limited, amount of paints at the moment. I am working on my collection. We will see where it gets. It'll probably be like later in the holidays when I get more stuff. But yeah, just thought I'd work on these guys and do my best. So I'm using Avaland Sunset right now to paint the base of these guys' armor. I'm really liking even though I already have Imperial Fists, I really like the yellow and black color scheme for the Bad Moon's orcs. So I thought I would go with that, even though I don't know. I might choose a different orc horde, but we'll see. So really, honestly, it's been about 6 months since I've painted last, which isn't a terrible thing. I mean, it's nice to take a break every once in a while, but school has really held me back from getting anything done with Warhammer 40k, which kind of sounds like I'm saying school's in the way. I mean, I might or might not be saying that because I really like this game, but whatever. So, but I figured I would start by painting all the metal yellow. This Avaland Sunset, I accidentally think I made it a little too watery, but that's okay. We'll go back over it. But yeah, I don't know. I like the orcs so far. So far, they're really fun. I have some Ludas, 2 squads of Ludas. I have a war boss. I have 120-man squad of boys. And honestly, that's about it so far. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the orcs. They're a complicated breed. I know, obviously, I'm probably going to need some trucks. It's kind of a no-brainer to get across the field. I want to do a green tide type thing, but it's so expensive. It's like almost not even worth it, but at the same time, it'd be cool to see. But I definitely know I'll be getting some trucks. I don't remember what they're called. I think they're called the Rocket Boys or something like that. But they're the guys that have the little jetpacks on. So I'm definitely going to be picking up some of those. And going from there. Honestly, I've never really played orcs in my life. Most of the time, most of the games I've ever played have been Space Marines. So my knowledge is pretty limited when it comes to everybody else. Oh, and then I also, I guess I played a couple of games of Tyranids with my girlfriend. And I played one game of Necrons. So I'm working on it, guys. One step at a time, I suppose. But yeah, that's it so far. I'm actually kind of excited. Lately, I've been working on a video series. I haven't put any of them up yet, but I've been working on a series on how to build 1,000-point lists as cheaply as possible. Now, granted, whenever I looked at the price, I was like, gosh, that's not cheap at all. But in reality, whenever I looked at the price, if you had bought the models individually instead of in the big starter packs and whatnot, it would have cost way more than you would have wanted to pay. So it actually turned out not being too terrible. Probably should have painted my black on here before I do my yellow, but that'll be okay. Won't be able to do all that much today, but we'll see. We'll see what I can get done. So, yeah. Lately, I've been watching a lot of mini wargaming videos, and I really like their Warhammer 30K stuff. It looks neat, but I'm not a huge fan of the models. I don't know what it is about them, but it just doesn't get me going like 40K does. I don't know, maybe I guess it's just a different style, and like I'll get used to it over time or what, but it just really didn't, I don't know, in a way, it just wasn't my favorite. Oops. The dreadnoughts are ugly as sin. The Contemptor dreadnoughts. It's so weird. It's like a vulnerable dreadnought. I don't think I'd ever own one of those. I mean, it's its own art style, and yeah, I'm glad for them for coming up with something new and getting out of the box, because, you know, they're trying to survive. And that's another thing. I watched a video the other day on a guy named Wargamer Fritz, and he sat and talked about Wargaming's, you know, is it going out of business, or, you know, why do they price their stuff so high? Well, one, you got to think that mini wargaming is an extremely, extremely, extremely niche thing. Like, literally, anytime I tell people, oh yeah, what do you do for a hobby? I'm like, oh, I play Warhammer 40K. Not a single person I have met, like, so far in my life knows what that is. And if I had mentioned, like, Dawn of War or something like that, everybody knows what that is, because, you know, it's a computer game. A lot more people play computer games rather than something like a tabletop game. You know, no one plays board games anymore. So, but anyways, I think, you know, that they are trying to honestly get into the virtual world a little bit more, because there's more money and more potential in that, and you can do stuff like Steam and Xbox games and things like that where people are actually going to know what's going on and be paying attention. Like, I've tried to get my brothers all to play 40K with me, and it's a miserable experience. You know, they're done in 15 minutes. They don't want to learn the rules. They don't want to take the time. I mean, in a way, I want to say it's almost like a generational thing, because you don't see... I mean, you see some younger kids still playing, like coming in and playing and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's the kids that were born like in the 90s. And I know my thoughts are really scattered here, but I'm just going with whatever pops into my head. But honestly, I don't think that kids from today's day and age, the millennial kids and the later 90s kids, you know, they were all born with cell phones and video games and things like that are super immediate. And I don't think that they truly understand, like, patience, I guess. Because, like, this right here would drive most of my brothers insane. Like, my youngest one, he literally plays video games from the time that he gets home from school till the time that he has to go to bed. Like, it's just a non-stop rampage. And don't get me wrong, I did stuff like that when I was younger. But, I mean, like, it's like incessant. Like, there's nothing else in his life but playing video games. And it's just like, dude, wake up. There's more to life than just that. And I'm like, I don't know. This is also a game, and unfortunately, I kind of treat it more than a game sometimes. It's almost a lifestyle for me. So I literally am either watching videos or playing games or doing something like that all the freaking time. But, I mean, I try and stray away from this every once in a while. You know, whether it be going to the park or hanging out with my girlfriend, or doing whatever. But I don't know. That was a weird tangent. It went way further than I wanted it to go. But whatever. But no, like I was saying, Games Workshop, I think that they're definitely going to stick with the virtual reality world because it's a lot easier to maintain. You can update it way easier. You hire 10 guys to do that job instead of 50 or 60 people to create, design, do these models, and then you got to pay a company to, supply the resin or plastic or whatever you're making them with, and then you got to actually create the models, and you got to get them boxed and shipped, and it's just this whole big ordeal. And it'd be way cheaper just to pay 5 guys $100,000, or 10 guys $100,000 a year, or whatever, however many freaking guys you got. You get men or women, sorry girls, but however much it would cost a year to pay them just to create a virtual reality, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're done. I mean, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can mess with the physics. You can, the characters move, walk, talk. They all have their own personalities. It's whatever. But I don't know. I think that's definitely where Games Workshop is moving towards. With the, I think it's Requiem that came out. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, guys. A while back, Dawn of War came out with, and this was like, I think a couple of years ago now, but Dawn of War came out with their re-released high definition packs or whatever. There's Soulstorm, which has been modded out the wild freaking zoos. You can pretty much do whatever you want in there. You can literally play every race, which basically allows you to technically play this without needing the models, which is kind of sad, because I'd much rather be doing this and building train and, meeting people up at the shop and stuff. Pardon me, guys. I'd much rather be doing that than having to, just sit alone in my dark freaking basement. I mean, it's depressing me. I don't know why you'd ever want to just sit there and continuously play video games all day, every day. But, I mean, some people are into that, so I'm not going to judge, I suppose. I apologize, guys. These videos are only going to be about 14 minutes long, tops. I am not a frequent video producer. I do maybe one a week, maybe that'd be like really pushing it, like if I had a lot of free time. But like I've said a million times with you guys, school really holds me back from doing this a lot more. So I'll try and keep them going as long as I can, and try and keep them interesting and enjoyable. Apologize, I've been sick for the last freaking forever. This winter has been miserable. But anyways, I will continue this in video part 2, and hopefully whenever we get our own place going after we're done with school, we'll have a better studio and lighting and things like that. So yeah, go ahead and click on the link below for part 2, and I'll just keep painting orcs and blabbing on and probably boring you guys to death. But hey, thanks for watching. All right, see you guys in a minute.